Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Young and the Restless. Billy's big secret and Ashley freaks out over diagnosis. In the CBS soap opera, Young and the Restless, an intriguing storyline is set to unfold the week of May 27 to 31. The fresh promo has revealed two significant scenes. One reveals Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, handing over her power to her son Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. The second scene on Young and the Restless, which promises to be more intriguing, involves Dr. Alan Laurent, Christopher Cousins, and Ashley Abbott, Eileen Davidson. Ashley recently experienced a confusing episode, so she seems to have regained control and is conversing with her friend and former shrink, Dr. Laurent. A major twist could involve the return of Faith Newman, portrayed by Raylan Castor. Fans might see the character return for the summer storylines, involving the younger crowd. Meanwhile, a major cliffhanger awaits viewers involving Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, Cole Howard, J. Eddie Peck, and Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc. The plot twist on Young and the Restless sees Victor potentially facing arrest over accusations linked with Jordan. The storyline on Young and Restless promises to keep audiences on the edge of their seats, with a legacy character possibly facing imprisonment. Also, a major twist and the return of a beloved character. The plot developments ensure the show continues to deliver the drama its fans have come to expect. The air was thick with tension at the Abbott mansion. Billy Abbott had been walking around with a burden, a secret that gnawed at his conscience every waking moment. He knew it was only a matter of time before his secret blew up in his face, but he was determined to keep it under wraps for as long as possible. However, Genoa City was not a place where secrets remained buried for long. Ashley Abbott was already on edge. She had been experiencing a series of unsettling symptoms over the past few weeks: dizziness, fatigue, and a persistent headache that refused to go away. She had finally mustered up the courage to visit the doctor, hoping against hope that it was nothing serious. When the call came from her doctor's office, the world seemed to tilt on its axis. "Ms. Abbott, we have your results," the voice on the other end of the line had said. "We need you to come immediately." The words echoed in her mind as she waited in the plush office, her heart pounding in her chest. She had faced many challenges in her life, but something about this felt different, ominous. She glanced around the room, the walls adorned with expensive art and family portraits that seemed to mock her with their serene normalcy. Opened and Dr. Green stepped in, his expression grave. Ashley's heart sank. "Please sit down," he said, gesturing to a chair. "Just tell me," Ashley insisted, her voice trembling. "What's wrong with me?" Dr. Green sighed, pulling up a chair beside her. "Ashley, we've found a mass. It's in your brain. We need to do more tests to determine if it's malignant, but..." The room spun, and Ashley felt as though she might faint. She clutched the arms of the chair, grounding herself. "A mass?" she whispered. "What does that mean?" "It means we need to act quickly," Dr. Green replied gently. "I know this is a lot to take in, but we'll be with you every step of the way." Back at the Abbott mansion, Billy was wrestling with his own demons. He had been seeing a mysterious woman named Maya for several months. What had started as a harmless fling had spiraled into something more complicated. Maya wasn't just any woman. She was connected to some very dangerous people, and Billy's involvement with her had drawn him into a web of lies and deceit. Every time Billy looked at his family, he felt a pang of guilt. He knew that his actions could put them all in jeopardy, but he couldn't seem to break free from Maya's hold. He had tried to end things with her multiple times, but she always had a way of pulling him back in. Today, he received a message from Maya that made his blood run cold. "Meet me at the docks tonight. We need to talk. Urgent." Billy stared at his phone, anxiety gnawing at him. He knew that meeting Maya again could be disastrous, but ignoring her could be even worse. He had no choice. He had to go. As he prepared to leave, he bumped into Ashley in the hallway. She looked pale and shaken, her usual poise replaced by a fragile vulnerability. "Ash, are you okay?" Billy asked, concern etching his features. Ashley forced a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I'm fine, Billy. Just a bit tired." Billy knew better than to press her when she didn't want to talk. But he couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. He watched her walk away, a sense of foreboding settling over him. That evening, Billy made his way to the docks, the air cool and crisp. He found Maya waiting for him, her expression tense. "We have a problem," she said without preamble. "What now?" Billy asked, trying to keep the frustration out of his voice. Maya handed him a file. It's about your sister Ashley." Billy's heart skipped a beat as he opened the file. Inside were detailed medical records, test results, and notes from doctors. "How did you get this?" he demanded, anger and fear mingling in his chest. "I have my ways," Maya replied coolly. "The important thing is, Ashley's in serious trouble, and if you don't do exactly what I say, it's going to get a lot worse." Billy's mind raced. "What do you want from me?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "I need you to help me with a little business transaction," Maya said, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of malice and anticipation. "If you do, I'll make sure Ashley gets the best medical care available. If you don't, well, you can imagine." Billy felt trapped, his options dwindling by the second. He knew he couldn't risk Ashley's health, but he also knew that getting involved in Maya's business transaction could have catastrophic consequences. He was caught between a rock and a hard place, with no clear way out. Meanwhile, Ashley was struggling with her diagnosis. She had always been the strong one, the pillar of the Abbott family, and now she felt as though her foundation was crumbling. She hadn't told anyone yet, not even her closest family members. She needed time to process the news, to figure out what her next steps would be. But time was a luxury she didn't have. The doctor had scheduled a series of tests and consultations, each one bringing her closer to a potential treatment plan. She knew she couldn't face this alone, but the thought of burdening her family with her illness was almost too much to bear. As she sat in her room, staring at the family photos on her dresser, she realized that she needed to tell someone. She picked up her phone and dialed a familiar number. "Tracy, it's me," she said when her sister answered. "I need to talk to you. It's important." Tracy arrived at the mansion within the hour, her face etched with worry. "What's wrong, Ashley?" she asked, taking her sister's hands in hers. Ashley took a deep breath, steeling herself. "I went to the doctor today," she began, her voice trembling. "They found a mass in my brain." Tracy's eyes widened in shock. "Oh, Ashley," she whispered, pulling her sister into a tight embrace. "We'll get through this together. I promise." As the sisters clung to each other, Billy stood at the docks, staring at the file in his hands. He knew that the choices he made in the coming days would determine the fate of his family. He had to find a way to protect Ashley and keep his secret from tearing them apart. The night was dark, and the waters of Genoa City's harbor were calm, but Billy's mind was a storm of conflicting emotions. He could only hope that somehow he would find a way to navigate through the turmoil and come out on the other side with his family intact.